There's a really interesting film coming out next month called Detroit, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it, well, for a variety of reasons. I'm born and raised in Detroit. I'm a native Detroiter. A small kid when that occurred, but I remember it with such clarity. It was just a scary and a frightening time in my life. It was that summer of '67, and I'll never forget that. It started Saturday night. Long story short, there was an incident over on the west side where some police raided a bar. And they beat up the patrons pretty badly, and it escalated to the patrons spilling out into the street and just destroying this whole area of 12th Street. You have to understand, 12th Street was like during the day it was all business, but at night it was kind of like, it was red light. I mean, there were whores, there were pimps, there were people in their, their flashy clothes. I mean, it was see and be seen. It was just nightclubs. It was just that kind of, that kind of craziness. It got out of hand, and they started smashing windows and looting stores. They were taking out it got really crazy, but it was only contained to that area of town. Well, the next day, that Sunday, I'll never forget, I took the Cadillac Harper bus over to my grandma's house, and when I got over there, she had the news on, and she says, listen, there's something going on over on the west side, and it looks like it's coming toward the east. You better get on back home. And when you get back home, call me, let me know you got home okay. And that night, it went from 0 to 100. It was unreal. Stealing stuff out of stores. They were carrying everything they could carry. There were gunshots in the night. All night long, there were gunshots. There was smoke. You could smell the smoke. You could hear the fire engines. It got so bad, they even called the National Guard. The National Guard came into the city. There were tanks going down the street. We heard tanks going down the street in the middle of the night. We were like on a curfew all day. You couldn't even leave your house. Thank God we had food and water and stuff in the house, so we were okay. But we were homebound for like 6 days when that happened. That was July '67, and my father, nowhere to be found. It was just my mom, my brother, and my 2 sisters and me, and we were just hunkered down, just scared as shit. We slept on the floor because there were so many gunshots and stuff at night. You didn't want to get shot. It was crazy. It was really detrimental for Detroit because after the riot ended, there was a major, dare I say it, white flight. A lot of whites left Detroit in droves. The city really, really went down the tubes and took a major hit. It was just bad, really bad for a long, long time, and it's just not coming back now. There was a thing that was done in the city during the riot that almost like reeked to me of biblical times. There were a lot of whites who owned businesses in Detroit, and a lot of these businesses were being looted and burned and destroyed. And it was kind of like if you wrote "Soul Brother" on the window, blacks would see this and they would think maybe a black person owned this, or for whatever reason, and they would pass it by and they wouldn't damage it. It worked in some instances, but in a lot of instances it didn't because people knew the deal. They knew they were being gamed and scammed, so they tore it up and they messed it up anyway. But it was just interesting. Soul Brother, because so much of it was very brutal and painful and shocking and disturbing. It was some deep shit. Deep shit. Our history is a colorful history. My history is a colorful history. G thoughts.